Hi there everyone, for Viral Now, I'm Jer, here today with 5 of the most dangerous water slides in the world. Water parks offer the experience of thrill and rush of adrenaline, with safety though. However, sometimes the pendulum is swung too far by engineers, and some water slides can be designed with the potential for serious risk. Let's look at 5 of these slides. First, a quick message. To up your style game, check out HypeLitStore.com to find some of the latest trendy designs, with the Space Galaxy hoodie, Oreo joggers, or vintage Rick t-shirt among many others. Once again at HypeLitStore.com. Black Hole, Wet n Wild water park in Orlando in the United States. This was the first water park opened in the United States, opening in the year 1977. It operated until the end of 2016. As it was the first water park in the US and ran for nearly 4 decades, it was a guinea pig of sorts, not having the best safety standards, especially in the early days. Due to this, there have been several lawsuits filed against the park for this specific slide, the Black Hole. Before getting more into that, the experience of the slide includes a dark trip where you are constantly spinning. You must keep a firm grip on your inner tube heading down. In total, it took 23 seconds to complete the Black Hole. Employees would send patrons at a rate of every 20 seconds, however, which would sometimes cause some problems. Here's a sped up POV of going down the slide. A major lawsuit was filed by a man who was struck by an object in the slide while going down. When he landed in the water below, he was unable to move his legs. He required surgery to have metal plates implanted into his neck. Due to all of this, in court he won $1.73 million. Another incident involved a man getting stuck in the slide. The next rider came down and ended up kicking the man in the back, causing injury. Similar things happened a couple of other times, with a young girl being sent down who went slower than expected, and then another girl was sent down, causing another collision, and then once again a similar situation with that. There have been quite a few problems here at the Black Hole at Wet n Wild in Orlando. As I did say though, the park itself is no longer open. It was all completely closed at the end of 2016. Insano Water Slide, Brazil's beach park. The world's largest water slide was a record it held for quite a few years at 135 feet tall, where you reach a speed of 65 miles per hour. The ride lasts 4 to 5 seconds. Some people have reported that for a moment they fly through the air, losing contact with the slide. It is very intense. The restrictions for going down the slide are that no one is able to go down with special needs, such as the physically handicapped and all members of the Kardashian family. That is something that is listed by the park. I did not add that myself. Also, you cannot be a pregnant woman, and you must be over 4 foot 6 inches. And finally, you cannot be overweight. In Brazil, it is commonly thought that anyone with a body fat percentage of over 12% is overweight, meaning you need to be in quite excellent shape to fall down Insano. Here is what it is like going down. Just to say, it doesn't seem that there have been any accidents occurred on this slide, at least I could find reported, but still it's a very, very intense experience. To this day, it is the second tallest water slide in the world. Verruckt, Kansas City Water Park in Kansas, United States. This was the world's largest water slide. However, it closed in the year 2016. I'll explain why in a moment. The way this slide works is it sends you down the 168-foot height at a speed of 70 miles per hour at 60 degrees. Then you go up a hill of sorts, then go down to the bottom. You must ride in a 3-person raft that weighs 100 pounds itself. Between the 3 mandatory passengers, though, the minimum weight must be over 400 pounds, but that does not include the raft weight, so in total that is 500 pounds, then with the smallest person in the front and the largest person in the back. Intended for safety is the netting above the entirety of the slide. Supporting the net are metal bars. Here is what it is like going down. For the tragedy, I'll say brace yourself, as this is very intense and an incredibly horrific story. In the summer of 2016, it was Elected Officials Day, celebrating those elected in the state. So there's a lot of them at the park along with their family. One of the families consisted of 4 brothers, sons to a Kansas state representative. 2 of the sons decided they wanted to go on Verruckt. As I mentioned, there must be 3 riders in the rubber raft designed specifically for the slide. Also, the combined weight must be at least 400 pounds. The 2 brothers, aged 10 and 12, did not weigh enough, even with a heavy third stranger. So, the older brother went down first with 2 adult strangers that went as usual, as every ride down did. Then, the 10-year-old boy did the same, going with 2 adult strangers. Of course, the boy was the smallest, so he was in front. Before getting to the accident, apparently the scale to weigh the passengers was acting strange that day. In reality, the boy and the 2 women he went with did not equal 400 pounds. When going down the initial drop, everything was fine. But when the 3 of them went up the second smaller hill, they had trouble getting over it, because once again they were under the weight limit. Well, water jets were installed into the slide to help push up the raft and its passengers over the hill. Once the jets were activated, it sent the raft airborne for a moment, accompanied by the boy's Velcro harness coming loose. He hit his head on one of the metal hoop bars supporting the netting above them. He was instantly decapitated. His head flew backwards, injuring the woman directly behind, fracturing her jaw and causing a major eye injury. Both women were injured from hitting the netting as well. The older brother was waiting at the bottom of the slide for his brother to come down. What he saw was blood rushing down the slide and his brother's body without a head. The slide was closed immediately and will not be opening ever again. Steamer Slide, CALYPSO Water Park in Ottawa, Canada. For this slide, there is actually 2 of them. Steamer is the black slide, Acid Test is the yellow version. Both work the same, they just mirror each other. You may only ride with a partner on a 2-person inner tube that you also must hold on to the handles. With the smaller person in front, it takes you through a dark tunnel, and then you arrive to a bowl where you spin around more than 3 times and then splash into the landing pool. Here is what it is like going down it. This all sounds and looks fun, but in the years of 2011 and 2012, multiple accidents occurred, resulting in 20 charges by the province of Ontario for not meeting safety regulations. In 2015, courts made the water park pay $500,000 to those affected in accidents that took place on the slides. There were multiple accidents, one involving 2 families colliding together, causing injury. With all of this said and done though, the president of the water slide has said that with over 400,000 visitors a year, it is expected that some mistakes will be made. The majority of the accidents occurred on the steamer slide, yet it is still open to this day. Cannonball Falls, Action Park, New Jersey. This is technically 2 slides, but they run alongside each other and they are exactly the same. For the ride experience, it is certainly the least thrilling compared to all of the others on this list. It isn't some extreme height or speed. You go down at a modest angle with a couple of curves. The reason this slide makes it onto the list, however, is at the end of it, you land into a pool of water. The thing is that it's a 10-foot drop into the water from the slide. Here's a clip of what it is like going down Cannonball Falls. Fun fact, or, well, at least fact, Action Park, where the slide was located, gained the nickname Traction Park, as in the 1980s and 90s, there was a high number of injuries reported at the water park. This slide continued the legacy of that nickname, operating until summer 2015, when the state government forced the park to close down the slides. There were multiple injuries in a year. In 2015, 6 people reported to have suffered shoulder injuries, among a 6th person who was also injured. The park in total that year received 27 injury reports. In the year 2012, a total of 70 injury reports were filed. Someone who was injured in the summer of 2015 told a news station that when he reached out to Action Park with the news that he required surgery for his injured shoulder because of riding Cannonball Falls, the park essentially told him to take a hike. The state of New Jersey forced Action Park to close the slide shortly after that. If the government hadn't intervened, perhaps it would still be open, causing more people harm. With all of this said, water slides are largely very safe. You shouldn't be worried ever going down them. Unfortunately, sometimes accidents do happen. Please don't be scared of water slides. And let me know down below in the comments below what slides you have gone on that you thought were pretty intense. As always, for Viral Now, I'm Jer, wishing you to have a wonderful rest of your day. Goodbye.